Joining me today is Catherine Huntziker. Catherine is a master herbalist, a formulator, a naturalist, a cultural advocate, and president at WishGarden Herbs. Thank you for joining me today, Catherine.
Oh, I'm honored to be invited. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so the first thing I want to start with is I like to ask people what their favorite color is today. On this particular
Ooh.
day, what is your favorite color?
Oh gosh, I think green.
Okay.
You know, it's spring. I'm looking out the window, seeing the beautiful trees. I'm wearing green with a
Yes.
little extra color to go with it.
I love it. I love green. I was on a trail recently and I think we haven't had a lot of moisture because you're in Colorado too. We haven't had a ton, but the area I was in was so dark green. It was beautiful, especially against the blue sky. Oh, yeah. So I'm with you on green. I love it. Um, okay. So then I guess my first question is what brought you to Colorado in the first place? How'd you get out here?
Oh, wow. Oh, it goes way back.
Mhm.
My great grandmother, my dad's from Colorado.
Okay.
My mom and dad met at CU, and my dad was at School of Mines.
Okay.
And, long story short, but it goes way back to my great grandparents
Mm.
who lived in Denver, but they had a property up by Rollinsville that they got through, it was a mining thing that wasn't working, and they sold the property and gave it to the Mann family, which is my maiden name,
Okay.
Mann. And
Okay.
my great grandmother, her name is Catherine as well.
Mm.
And she was a Christian Science healer.
Mm.
And they
Okay.
named that property up by Rollinsville, the Balm of Gilead. And people would ride the train up from Denver. And then, it was in the 20s or so, 20,
Okay.
30s when my dad was growing up. And people would come up to that property, which had had a log cabin or two,
Wow.
and get healings up there.
Oh, that gives
And
me
so she
chills.
was a Christian
Wow.
Science healer. And, when I think I was 20, I read a book about what that was. And
Yeah.
basically, it's energetic healing, sort of
Yes.
like we know today, but it was
Yeah.
couched in Christianity.
Okay. Wow. I didn't realize that. That's new information. How cool. I'm gonna have
We
to
have a
look.
legacy in that
Yes.
way. And actually,
Yes.
that property is still there. And I have dreams of having it be a place where people can go. I mean, I don't do energy healing myself.
Yeah.
I work with the
Okay.
plants,
Yes.
their energy, but
Yes.
we've
Oh,
done
I
good
love
things up
that.
there. Yeah.
Okay, I work. I'm an energy healer. I practice
Oh, all
Reiki,
right.
and so yes, that's amazing. I want to look into that, and I would love that for you too. I hope that you can lean into that at some point because what an amazing place.
Yeah, and it's on the list. And oh gosh, there's so much more I could tell you about that. But I might also mention that my grandmother, Ada,
Uh-huh.
was a hairdresser on Colfax in Denver.
Wow, you have some really cool women in your line. That's amazing. That's so cool. I love that. And so when you I was reading a little bit about you and I was curious about this and I'm curious what your how you would how you respond to this, but you became a radical herbalist in the 70s. Why was that considered radical?
Well, I think what's going on there is putting two things together.
Uh-huh.
Um, in the 70s were the Vietnam War protests, and
Mhm.
I was just graduating from college at University of Iowa then,
Mhm.
and was participating in those protests.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm all hippie, and
Yeah.
the whole thing was happening, and
Mhm.
and it wasn't, well, I don't know if this is appropriate to say, it wasn't for me about the psychedelics and all this and that. It
Sure.
was about natural and getting closer
Yeah.
to nature,
Yeah,
and
sure.
that's important. There was the women's movement, the book Our Bodies, Ourself. was a
Mm-hmm.
big, and then Rachel Carson's Silent Spring was the
Mm.
first big book that went out about, ooh, we need to do something about climate change and we
Yes.
need to start moving away from chemical industrial foods. And what about plant medicine?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what
That's
it has to
right.
offer, and kind of jumping forward a little bit, I've spent a lot of my career going around. I am a formulator, which I definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about.
Yes.
But I've spent a lot of my career going around doing trainings for vitamin department store staff and just around. And I
Okay.
came to like, okay, let's call it paleo medicine,
Oh.
paleo wellness,
Mm-hmm.
paleo, plants as food and
Mm-hmm.
plants as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And for 99.99999% of our time on this planet, all human beings and the animals too, by the way, but
Mm-hmm.
that was our medicine. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking maybe 200 years
Mm-hmm.
where standard practice and pharmaceuticals came from. That came out of the Greek battlefield medicine, saving lives, surgery, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But herbs as medicine, as wellness support, you might
Mm-hmm.
call it,
Mm-hmm.
that was missing
Right.
from our culture for 50, 60 years, as
Mm-hmm.
well, as well as midwifery and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of other things.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I was an activist,
Mm-hmm.
starting with the Vietnam War, and then well, let me also mention that I was trained as a midwife at the Emma Goldman Clinic in Iowa City when I was in the process of graduating, but I was still there. Um, and because that's when the women's liberation movement was happening too.
Mm-hmm.
You had the civil rights movement,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had the women's liberation movement,
Mm-hmm.
which then led to clinics about our own health,
Mm-hmm.
reowning it. And
Right.
then that led to midwifery.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so I studied and was trained as a midwife at the Emma Goldman Clinic in Iowa
Mm.
City in the 70s, and
Okay.
then moved back to Colorado
Mm-hmm.
and was part of the midwifery organization because here in Colorado, particularly around Boulder, Colorado, was kind of a hot spot has been for a
Mm-hmm.
number of things. And it was kind of one of the hot spots for midwifery. It was also one of the hot spots for natural,
Mm-hmm.
which I can say
Mm-hmm.
more about being involved in that. But the midwives, and why this is relevant is because that's where WishGarden came from.
Oh.
Because midwives, and I'm talking late 70s, 80s, midwives were coming back and they weren't illegal, but they weren't MDs.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, they could not carry
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceuticals because then that would be practicing medicine without a license.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't be attending births and things like that without having some tools.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a local midwife. Her name was Barbara Wishengrad,
Okay.
Austrian, I think, for WishGarden. And she
Okay.
started,
All coming together.
and there were still granny midwives in Appalachia
Mm-hmm.
and the African American diaspora in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some ethnobotanical resources. There's books here, but that one's in the other room.
Okay.
So going back to the folk herbalism that had to do in this case that midwives used and were still using in these places where access to standard practice was not very there.
Right.
And so as midwives, and particularly Barbara, she went back to that and started making formulas for childbearing for the midwives, and had been doing that since that was in 79 when she started
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And coming along, and I was teaching childbirth education in Boulder, in Colorado. I wasn't practicing as a midwife because I had little kids
Hmm.
and be gone all night and all things like that.
Right.
But then at one point, she decided she was ready to move out of the country with her partner and wanted to sell it. And I had been to the Ozarks during the
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Land movement in between,
Okay.
which is, I've always been about the plants and natural, making my own bread and a
Yeah.
hippie, and that whole thing. And that was one of the hot spots for Back to the Land movement.
Oh,
There
yeah.
were communes there. I was not part of that, but it
Okay.
was a cultural step in what, that sort of renaissance
Yeah.
happening as a cultural renaissance that was happening.
Yeah.
And I was all about plants. And there's this story about how I got interested in medicinal herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I tell it?
Yes, please tell it.
Okay. So there I am in the Ozarks, down south, close to the border in southern Missouri, in an area called Rockbridge.
Okay.
And living in this cabin, and my kids are there, they're little. And one morning I got up early to go for a walk, before they were awake. And it was in the middle of winter. It was the Ozarks, but it was the
Mm-hmm.
middle of winter, it was January. And I'm walking out and I'm walking along this meadow that goes by the creek that was close by. And early dawn, there were deer and
Mm-hmm.
wild turkeys just grazing there.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful, like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
And here in Colorado, we see wild turkeys, but there you never see them during the day. You just see their
Oh,
footprints.
okay.
So, but there they were. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And I just stood there like, wow,
Yeah.
huh. And after a while, they started to drift away. And I heard this sound. And I go, what? And
Mm-hmm.
so I followed my ear across the little meadow over by the creek. And oh my God, there was this bush in full bloom in the middle of the winter with
Mm-hmm.
bees all over it.
Wow. Wow.
And I go, oh my goodness, what is this? And sometimes when I tell this story, I say, do you want to guess what that plant was?
Ah,
It was
I,
witch hazel,
witch hazel.
which
Oh,
is one of the few plants that lived during the Dark Ages when herbs were gone in the pharmacies. It was not as a tincture, it was as kind of an oil, more of a body care thing, but it's one plant that made it. But I didn't know what it was. And
mhm.
so I was just stunned. And I went back and got my field guide to find out what, and that's the life force of that plant was just amazing. And that's when I really started to focus on medicinals.
Hey,
And there
that's
was, yeah, and it turns out there was a new co-op in Ava, Missouri, and there was uh, herb growing family,
yes, yes.
um, Teeter Creek herbs, and he was growing a bunch. And I went over and I saw him, and I saw, oh, there's that one, these ones that are native there.
Yes.
And that's where I fell in love with medicinals. And then moved back to Colorado for family reasons. And like I was talking about, teaching childbirth education and this and that, but I was
Yeah.
still very much about the herbs. And I started studying them because that was newly happening here in the
Yes.
region. I took Feather Jones had a class that I was taking. Brigitte Mars, we had kind of a group of herbalists, a coalition that was doing things. And one of my biggest experiences was going on springtime in the desert field trips with Michael Moore.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yes.
would
Tell me
say
about
Michael
this.
Moore was, and I'm not talking about the movie guy, although
Yes.
they're similar. Their
Okay. Okay.
personalities are kind of similar. They
Okay.
actually even similar body type, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
But Michael Moore was an herbal pioneer in a
Okay.
way during the herbal renaissance, bringing that back. And he was all about Southwestern herbs. He had a school, the School of Southwestern, this or that, which is where
Mhm.
Feather, who was teaching here, had learned from him. And we would go down there and, oh gosh, I could go on and on. I'll try to,
Yes. No, I love this.
I'll tell you
I'm
two things
learning.
about that.
Yes.
One is how he thought about herbs was a really good fit for me and
Okay.
really led to my formulation strategy, which
Okay.
is nationally recognized, and I take it beyond where most formulators do. And I can speak more to that
Yes, I would
later.
like to know more about that. I'm
Yeah.
curious your process.
But on one hand, he was very much a botanist and ethnobotanist
Mm-hmm.
and knew the plants and
Mm-hmm.
spent time with the plants. On the other hand, he was very much about physiology
Mm.
and the and how the body worked and what the functionality of the different constituents in the plants were. So bringing together the left and the right brain
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yes.
herbs,
Yeah.
where it's not just about the science, although that's important.
Sure.
You got to know the plants too, because they're
Yes.
living beings,
Yes.
very different than
Yes.
us, but they're
Yes.
living beings. Like, for example, plants are the only living thing that can take energy, like sunlight,
Mhm.
and transform it into matter.
Plants are so cool. I love them. When I was talking with Erin, I was just like, I just want to give a round of applause to plants. I love them. I mean, I feel so connected with them, physically connected with them. I touch them all the time. I talk to them all the time. I love them. They're
Yeah,
amazing.
and they have different personalities. They have, well, just like people, and this is why I work with whole plants.
Yes.
Like, you've got whole plants, then you have what I call phytopharmaceuticals, where you take particular constituents
Okay.
and concentrate it.
Okay.
CBD stuff.
Yeah.
Berberine as a constituent has come forward as a thing, but that's like a phytopharmaceutical. It works. The good thing is it's not a manufactured,
Right.
it's a natural molecule our bodies recognize, but
Right.
it's like putting something in the body similar to a pharmaceutical. And then you have pharmaceuticals, which definitely have a role. We need all these choices.
Sure.
But this whole thing about whole plant medicine, that's what has been missing or was missing.
Yes.
And my job is just to put them together in teams to
Yes.
work.
Teams. Love
Yes.
teams.
I mean,
Yes.
singles are okay, but you know,
Yeah. But there's a
put them
synergy,
together.
right? There's
What?
a synergy when they,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to try and circle back to the story, but here's one of the things, like when I teach these days, I try and teach about the things people may not be hearing elsewhere.
Yes.
And one of them is about formulations.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, you need to really understand the physiology of what you're trying to work with in the different systems.
Yes.
And for example, oh, it's a hormone balancer. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
lymphatic. That is not enough information. You need to know how and where it does what it does.
Yes. Yes, Catherine. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Keep going. Keep talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, as an example, hormones, because, being involved in childbearing and women's
Yes.
health, that's one of my specialties, along with a
Yeah.
bunch of others now. But hormonally, you have messaging from the brain, the hypothalamus pituitary, to the rest of the body.
Yeah.
It's one thing. Is that doing what it's supposed to be doing?
Right.
You have the endocrine glands that are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Do
Mm-hmm.
this and put it out. And one of the things people don't often consider or think about, a really important step with hormones, is that the liver, the body, takes and processes, breaks out, and gets rid of what we don't need. Everything has been, this works, is doing, but with stress levels and everything in our culture these days,
Mm-hmm.
the liver can get what they call congested.
Yes. You're
There's nothing
speaking my
wrong
language.
with it. It just
Yes.
gets backed up.
Yes.
When we get in a fight or flight,
Yes.
it's going out here, stress and what
Yes.
have you. And the whole liver hepatic functioning slows down. And
Mhm.
so it's not breaking things down. They continue to circulate, like a
Right.
lot of mood swings or teenage mood stuff,
Yes. Yes.
or you suddenly have a bunch of acne.
Yes.
That's because the hormones are not getting broken down to go on out. PMS symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
like that. So, and I don't mean to go on and on about
No,
this,
this is so good. This is what people need to hear. And this is what people want to hear. So keep it coming.
but yeah,
Good.
so to say, oh, it's a hormone balancer, and then
That's
what
so
happens is,
limited. Yeah, that's too limited.
yeah, and so a formulator might go, oh, here's a hormone balancer, I'll put it in here.
Mm-hmm.
But duh,
Mm-hmm.
what physiology are you working with? What
Right.
symptoms are involved? If
Right.
it's that liver thing, you've got the adrenals, you've got a number of different things that are creating that circumstance.
Yes. Yes.
Nothing diseasey. It's just
Right.
what's working and what's not. And
Right.
so you got to know the physiology. And I mean, there's be a lot of other examples. We could
Mm-hmm.
do a whole thing on
Yes.
that.
Oh, this is the
But
stuff I love. I'm so drawn to this because it is. It's all everything's connected. And you have to be curious about, okay,
you
where
have
is
to
this?
know the physiology and the different body systems. And I often will use, and you have to know the plant, both
Yeah,
from its constituents and what those functionalities are physiologically,
right.
but also know the plant, who it is and what their personality, what it feels like. So in a way, like, is it this soft little flower that's very body friendly, or is it a big
Like a
strong?
nettle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like a lot of times I'll use the metaphor of a basketball team.
Mm.
At the center, the defining lead herb in a way. You've got the forwards, you have the guards. They're putting
Mhm.
it all together to like make it happen.
Yes.
But the beauty of whole plant herbs, and particularly putting them in tinctures,
Yeah.
because yes, there's a little bit of alcohol, but that's what we need to pull out the non-water soluble constituents that tend to be the deeper, more complicated ones
Okay.
that will not be coming out in a tea,
Right.
but it's in a solution. And
Okay.
so, okay, what's the physiology I'm working with? What are the herbal candidates? Okay, who am I working with? Am I working with little kids? Am I
Right.
working with big, strong men? Like what is my demographic that I'm formulating?
Sure. It's
What are
fancy.
the
Yeah.
candidates? This is where the personality of the herb kind of comes in.
Yeah.
You
Ah,
kind of, okay, when you're hiring a staff, on one
yeah.
hand, you want the skill set that you're looking for, but
Yeah.
also want the culture to come together, work
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So
Oh.
anyway, and the other beauty of this, working with whole plants and formulating on this much deeper level,
Mm-hmm.
that turns out we're kind of known for.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, that's a whole other part of the story. I'll go there. But the other thing about it with tinctures, and I'm using the Western medicine definition of that.
Okay. Okay.
I know when cannabis and CBD was coming along, they were calling these oil things tinctures. And
Okay.
they definitely are an extraction, but they're technically not a tincture.
Okay. Okay.
A tincture is, um, it has water, it has alcohol, and it has some other things, but it's more about extracting the full constituent into a liquid. So it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And you have it and you take it. You don't have to digest it.
Right.
It goes right in.
Right.
And one of the things that we brought to the channel earlier, and there's a whole story about that too, is people did not know, even in vitamin departments and herbalists, they did not know that herbs could be 5 minutes full symptom relief if you know how to
Wow.
take them. Like for example, our kick-ass allergy with Yerba
Yeah.
Santa.
Yes.
Yerba Santa, oh, such an important antihistamine and
Yes.
non-stimulating, and
Yes.
oh, this goes back to a story with Michael Moore, but I'll go back to that
Yes. Yes.
because that's where I learned about that plant. But just when it's in a liquid like this, that's where you can get fast.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
get fast. You can get it, what I would call get better faster. And so half of it's the formula. The other half is how you take it to get the results you want.
Got it. Okay.
And since we worked with very vulnerable populations to begin with,
Yeah.
and there's a
Yeah.
story about that too, it's very important, at least on my end as a formulator, to formulate very body-friendly
Mm-hmm.
formulas.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the moment, when you're trying to address something right away, that's about taking enough volume for your body constitution,
Okay.
overall body weight, in
Okay.
general, more pounds, more herbs, less pounds, less
Okay.
herbs.
Mm-hmm.
But what runs across that is your constitution. You can have a big guy who's sensitive from his genealogy,
Right.
and you can have a tiny woman who's dense to them. And
Yeah.
then what is the discomfort you're dealing with? How intense is that? Allergies, early
Yes.
next to a hayfield.
Yes. Yes. And allergies are big right now. Like the
Yeah,
winter
and
strain.
so taking a tincture like our kick-ass allergy, take a
Yeah.
good strong serving.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I'm saying serving because herbs are legal nationally under food.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
So it's
can't
serving.
make
Got it.
disease claims. We can deal with discomforts. And
Yes. Okay.
technically, the FDA says we have to call it a serving.
All right.
Okay, so you take a good, nice serving, you wait
Yes.
5 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
don't settle for halfway.
Yeah.
It's take you, and the beauty of the liquids is you can take it up to 4 times in a row, which I also learned from Michael Moore.
Okay. This is
Um,
excellent to know.
yeah, and not because I'm worried about somebody taking too much. The
Yeah.
idea there, because like I said, we formulate very body-friendly formulas.
Yes.
Because we're used to working with delicate populations.
Yeah.
But it's that if it isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing within 4 good, strong servings,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then it may not be the right fit for you
Okay. Okay.
constitutionally.
Yes. So that
And
requires the person to also be curious and aware of how they are responding, not just taking it because it's like, this is the serving I'm supposed to take. It's what am I noticing when I take it?
yes, and that's the beauty of the tinctures. You can take a good stance, and particularly if you have a discomfort,
Mm-hmm.
digestive, allergy, whatever it
Yeah.
might be, you will know right away, fairly right away, because you don't have to digest it. It goes right in.
Right. Okay.
You'll know whether it's doing what you're hoping it would do.
Yes.
And the idea is not to even settle like, okay, maybe kind of.
Yeah.
No, keep going. Up to 4 times. And we can't say that on the label specifically because of the
Okay.
FDA rules. We try
Okay.
and say as close to that as we can.
Okay.
And we have on our website and materials, we have
Yes.
guidance for these
I
things.
love your website. It's so informative. I love it. It's such a great resource. Yes. Okay. Check out
Yeah,
the.
and we'll even with the particular formulas, we'll say, well, this is an in the moment thing. We're using
Yes.
that word for symptom
Yes.
relief. Get better faster, move on
Yes.
through it is more about acute. That's about repetition. That's about frequency. Push it,
Oh, okay.
push
Gotcha.
it,
Yeah.
push it. It's not about volume, where in the moment is about volume for your body and what's going
Right.
on.
Okay.
And
Okay.
once you determine what you need, you can just take that all at once the next time.
Okay. Ah, that's so good. Oh, it's brilliant. And the thing that I love about all of this is that the earth provides this for us.
Yeah.
And when
And
we,
plus,
yeah,
yeah, plus, okay, so you're doing something, and why whole herbs with everything the plant has to offer? Now, I don't necessarily mean all the whole plant, leaves, roots, this,
yeah,
but as it is,
yes,
not pulling this out or that out.
right.
Because since we evolved with them, I can't tell you how many times people from across the country have said, "Oh, this did this for me." And I go, "Really? Wow."
Mm,
I
mm-hmm.
remember there was an MD from the Pacific Northwest who, from our deep lung, which by the way helped keep people out of the hospital with COVID.
Yes, yes.
But this was years ago, and he was saying, as an MD, he'd been struggling with lung things for
Mm,
years, and standard practice had not given him any answers that work. And I
mm-hmm.
think deep stuck things is not what they specialize in,
Okay.
which is one thing. And I haven't gotten there yet, but you have in the moment, you have get better faster, and
Yeah,
then you have deep stuck.
yeah, okay.
Deep where, and what herbs bring to that is
Yeah.
not just providing something like a pharmaceutical might, and here I'm being a little simplistic, that the body's supposed to be doing, but isn't.
Mm-hmm.
What herbs do is they grow in, improve functionality of the
Mm,
organs, so the organs start doing better at what they're supposed to do.
yes.
And that is very relevant to deep stuck chronic things.
Yes.
And
Oh
that's
my gosh.
about consistency.
Okay,
That's,
okay.
just like eating good food, nice, natural wellness food, for lack of
Yes,
better words.
yes,
And, herbs as plants as nutrition builds better
yes.
tissue, plants as food,
Mm-hmm.
plants as medicine is more about serving and feeding the organs so that they
Mm,
work better,
mm.
which means it has a lot to offer on that level.
Yes.
And I'm not, we need all these different choices. Everybody's
Sure.
complicated,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
these are the big missing pieces that have been missing.
Yes.
Herbs can be 5 minutes symptom relief.
Right.
And oh gosh, I do want to go back and tell you some stories there. Um, and people don't know, like with our kick-ass immune, we
Yeah.
took immune support, boom,
Yeah.
sort of active immune support to a whole nother level in the
Yes.
category. People like you've got, if you're starting to like, uh-oh, am I getting
Yes.
something? You've got 8 hours to knock that out and
Yeah.
not get sick. And you can do this kind of that frequent, like every
Yeah.
hour, every 2 hours for about a day, day and a half, and then slow
Okay.
down on it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and so there was so much that people didn't know about what herbs could bring.
Right.
And
Yes. Yes.
yeah, and I will say one of the things that we definitely brought forward is taking that to another level of awareness with a lot of the vitamin departments around the country. And we also worked with practitioners early
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that makes me kind of, I might be leaving something hanging here. Oh, I'm going to say one more thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like because there you have all those choices and the body recognize what it wants,
Yeah.
it can take things that you didn't even think of that it would do, a particular
Yeah.
formula would do, but somebody's body will recognize that and pull those out and do that.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
brilliant. It's brilliant. I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
like to say half of it is the formula for sure. Putting
Yeah.
those teams together
Yes.
to,
Yeah.
um, but the other half is how to take it to get the results you're looking for.
Right. Right. Okay. And so the best thing that people can do when they're taking it is to pay attention to how they're responding and then either continue with
Yeah,
what
and
they're
what are
doing or
they looking
increase
for?
it. Yeah. So like with the allergies, like you said, with the kick-ass allergy, if they take it and it's, within 5 minutes, they're like, I'm not noticing it. They just kind of continue until they're like, and I'm good, and then go with that as they can. So yeah, so it's just practice and trial.
Yeah, you just try it and say, well, what does your body want or need for
Yes,
this?
I love that. This made me think of something, and I'm really curious because I mean, indigenous people have been using plants, working, I would
Well,
say
yeah, we evolved with them.
reciprocal.
All
Yes,
people, the whole
yes.
planet.
And so studying, because I had read, like you had studied cross-cultural indigenous traditions around the human nature relationships. And then that led to a pilgrimage that you went on. But I love that all encompassing, how this has been around, this has been offered, and it's like, okay, how do we move in a reciprocal relationship with the earth where we're not where we're it's like the giving and taking of that whole cycle, but it's
We
not.
are part of nature.
Yes, Catherine.
We
Oh
are
my gosh.
of nature.
Yeah,
And if we want a sustainable future, we got to get more in alignment with that.
thank you. Yeah. I'm just gonna type all that out in my notes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like kind of there's indigenous history experience, and there's so much to learn from that.
Yes, yes.
There's modern technology and so
Yeah,
much to learn from that.
yeah,
What we need to do
yes. Intersection.
and move forward,
Yes.
the next, oh, kind of on the woo-woo side of things,
Love woo woo. I'm all about it. I exist in the woo woo.
we apparently are just on this side of the Aquarian age, the next
Uh-huh. Yeah.
stage in
Yes.
evolution.
Yes.
And that's probably part of why it's a little crazy right now.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So when you are connecting with plants, I'm just curious, when you're interacting with you, how does it feel for you when you are like connecting with the plant, talking with the plant? What is that like for you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mm.
And that goes back to what you were saying. There was a period where I was sort of apprenticed in a way to a Huichol shaman through
Okay. Yeah.
uh, uh, a guy that did plant spirit medicine, so to
Okay.
speak.
Okay.
And the thing is, and he wasn't like, it was more about, I have to think about how to articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about adjusting your energy so you're more kind of letting it come down and rest here,
Yes. Yes.
and like sitting next to an herb, sitting next to a plant, looking at it. What does it look like? What does it smell, taste? Just being there. And if you're really wanting to do that seriously, you need to spend at least an hour there
Mm.
and just witness it.
Yes.
It's not it, and it's not about a bunch of woo-woo stuff. It's just getting to know it better. Like we're getting to know each other just right here.
Yes, yes. And witnessing each other. Yes.
Yeah.
Being
And
present.
like,
Yeah.
you get kind of a feeling, there's a feeling tone,
Okay. Yeah.
or because it's a living thing,
Right.
just like a person, you get kind of,
Right.
once you get to, there's kind of a feeling tone.
Yeah.
Um, or they're big and bossy, or they're kind of shy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're
Um,
connecting. Yeah.
yeah, and you just take that in and you witness it. You could make notes, you could draw a picture, you could fall asleep and have a dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about letting your energy settle. Maybe that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Let
Okay.
your energy and awareness just settle. Settle and just be there and be present. You don't have to do anything weird or bizarre. You're making yourself present
Yes.
there next to it. And what tends to happen is that settles, And there is a place where it kind of comes in on phase.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where information or feelings can pass through.
Yeah.
And, and I'm not saying, oh, like the plant is looking at you and talking necessarily, but
Yeah.
you learn and you take in feelings and information
Yes.
and sensory
Yes.
aspects.
Yes. Well, we're connected. We're like you said
Yeah.
earlier, we're connected with the plants. And so it's like
Yeah.
learning to speak their language, even though it's not words that we have. Yeah.
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 And then what is that wavelength, that they
Yeah.
might be on?
Sure.
And where the indigenous piece comes in, that is a piece that I like, that I
Mhm.
think helps on a number of levels. When you first sit down, you might give it an offering, like that. Some
Yes.
natives will use a bit of
Yes.
tobacco,
I resonate with
or
that.
when I was like part of where I spent, where I was sort of studying
Yeah.
the Huichol person would go to the ocean, and had us throw out a piece of chocolate
Yes. Yes.
to get to
I
know,
love.
and it's it's
Yes.
it's not so much about exactly what that is, it's about the
Yes.
intention. Oh,
Yes.
hey, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'd
Yes.
like to get to know you,
Yes.
and
The
and
intention. Yeah.
and and I don't mean that in a weird way. It's just more about starting to build and go to a different
Yes.
energetic
I'm
level.
all about that. I love it. I think that I love the word offering because you're doing this
And
dance and you're
and
interacting.
then and then at the end you express your gratitude. Hey, thank you for spending
Absolutely.
time with me.
Yes, gratitude, offering all of this, Catherine. Oh, so good. I love it so much. Is there something that you have been surprised to learn about from plants or something where you're like, what? Because I know the witch hazel initially, but anything more recently where you're like, whoa, didn't expect that or shocked.
Oh, okay, here's what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, I want to tell stories. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I want to tell the Yerba Santa story, the Michael Moore story. I want to tell a story about being down in Austin. But to
Okay.
your point, I would say Yerba Santa and also Yerba Manza.
Okay. I'm
Yerba
not familiar with
herb,
Manza.
Manza, Mansa, Yerba
Okay.
Manza.
Okay.
It's, I first met it down in New Mexico. It likes riparian zones, close, not in the water, but close to creeks and rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I first met it. It likes dry, arid climates, but the roots like to have access to water. So I first
Okay.
met it on a Michael Moore field trip in northern New Mexico, and kind of a boggy area, or how long roads, and sometimes there'll be kind of a
Yes.
dip where water, and it may not have water in there at the moment.
Sure, but
When
it's
it does get water, there'll pool there a little bit, and that's where we first saw it. And then we saw a bunch of it by the Rio Grande. And it turns out it used to be native up here in
hmm.
Colorado.
Hmm.
And so we want to bring it back.
Oh, how
But
does that
to
work?
your point, there was a wildcrafter that was so kind that took us to a stand next to the Rio Grande. And this is within the last couple, 2 or 3 years. And I've always been a fan of yerba mansa. I will say for deep, stuck respiratory things,
Okay. Okay.
wind dispersing, like the Chinese would say.
Yes, yes.
Okay, it went from being a cold, now, oh, it's stuck in the lungs, which is,
Okay.
basically kind of what happened with COVID. So
Yeah.
it's a deep, stuck kind of, you get on out of here kind of herb.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lead herb in that way. But
Okay.
what I want to share was what blew me away about, and I'd seen it before, but there was acres of it there. And so it was so happy. And let's say the adult plants, and by the way, it's kind of close to the ground. Maybe its leaves are about that high,
Okay. Like
up
eight
like
inches.
that, kind of like rabbit ears, sort of.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
cute little flowers come up. And so the adult or the older plants, they made a circle around baby plants in the
Oh,
middle,
I
like a
love
family.
that.
And then there were runners that went out that had nodes that would propagate.
Oh, wow,
So
gosh.
it's
So
making a
brilliant.
family in the middle with the baby
Yes.
roots. And then it has these runners that are going out. And I'm going, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, I love that. That would make me just, I'd probably just sit there and just wonder, like
Yeah.
awe, awe. Wow.
And we brought some back, some of the babies. We didn't
Uh-huh.
take the parent plants.
Okay.
We brought some of the babies, and this was last spring. We
Okay.
planted some. I have a property I call the Herbiculture Hub.
Okay.
Moved out of Boulder to come out here closer to where WishGarden is. We're in the tech center here, close to
Okay.
Louisville.
Okay.
And I wanted to buy a whole farm, but I couldn't afford it. But I got one with diverse terrain, and
Yeah.
long story short, we're calling it the hub.
Okay. Cool.
And we have a demonstration garden there. And my goal is to have field versions, so bring
Mhm.
herbs domestic in
Yeah.
addition for the
Okay.
market because it's there. And they have so much to offer on so many levels. And I can
Yeah.
say more about that if you want later.
Yeah.
But basically, we planted, and it wasn't that many of
Okay.
these sort of baby yerba manzas on a bed,
Yeah.
or maybe eight,
Okay.
8 or 10.
Okay.
And darned if it didn't pretty much fill up that whole thing
Oh.
within that one season.
Like I'm here. I'm here. We're
We're
exploding.
bringing them back.
Yes.
Uh,
Wow. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I did that's
yeah.
new to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very much about bioregional plants. Sometimes you need a plant that's from somewhere else, but we also have about a fifth of an acre under an agrivoltaic solar project up
Okay.
close to Longmont, about
Okay.
20 minutes from here.
Okay.
And the solar panels move from east to west,
Uh-huh.
and there's room for 3 beds in between. And we have partnered with them to bring different plants in there to see what's happy here. Call it,
Oh, that's
yes,
yes. Okay.
adaptability. Like I know this plant is from out east, and I know it's not happy out in an open field.
Okay.
Will it be here with some microclimate and a bit more humidity,
Yes.
this or
Okay.
that? And just watching the different plants and seeing what wants to be here. Like
Yeah.
lovage is the closest constituent profile to OSHA. I don't know if you're familiar with OSHA, a bear
Mm,
medicine, chuchupate.
okay. I'm not.
That's
I
another really important herb, and see, these
okay.
are bioregional
How do you spell
herbs that
that?
I
Uh,
learned of to begin with from Michael Moore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so say more because you said you wanted to say more about your experience with Michael Moore.
Yeah. So anyway, to finish that one thing up, we're trying to bring these into sustainable cultivation and for domestic sourcing of important high quality herbs
Mm-hmm.
to add to what's going on in the supplements channel because it's well established now.
Right, right.
And the vast majority are coming from overseas, which we respect countries that have not lost them and are doing them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's plenty of room and a big market to bring them
right.
domestic and
Okay.
perennialization, soil health. And
Yeah.
I've started a nonprofit called the Herbiculture Project to help
Oh,
do that, which,
okay.
like you're saying, is a whole other topic, but just to kind
Yeah.
of throw that out. Let's bring
Okay.
them home. Let's bring them
Okay.
back
Okay.
because
Okay.
people don't really think about them in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so, comma,
Pause. Yes.
going
Yes.
back
Yeah, okay.
to the
Circling.
mic,
Yes, we're
going
circling
back
back.
to, I think I left off where I was learning about herbs to begin with, and on these field trips with Michael Moore,
Yes. Yes.
character. He
Okay.
was quite the character. There's another story about that.
Uh-huh.
But here we are, we're camped out in a campground in northern Arizona.
Okay.
north of Phoenix, maybe a little east of that, kind of up in the foothills where
Mhm.
the piñons are and what
Oh
have you.
yeah.
And here we are, we're getting up in the morning, and before we even went and have breakfast or whatever, I don't quite remember. I mean, we're talking the 80s.
Okay.
And we're standing around this bush, and here's this young man who's clearly suffering from
Mm,
allergies. I mean, it's
mm.
just obvious that he is. And here's Michael Moore over here, and Michael goes, "Here, eat this leaf."
Oh.
And oh my God, I watched that young man. He just kind of went chunk, 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 chunk. And
Wow.
it clearly worked right away. And
Wow.
I went, oh my God, because I've been allergic to grass pollen since I was a child.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the last day I ever
Mm.
used an over-the-counter
That
antihistamine.
wow. And so what was the plant?
Yerba Santa.
It was. I want to make a t-shirt.
Yerba Santa, herb of
Yerba
the saints,
Santa. I
saintly
love
herb.
that, of
And the
course.
beauty of Yerba Santa, like I was talking about, plants have different personalities, just like
Yeah.
people. Well,
Yeah.
I'm an herbalist, but I like to dance.
Yeah. Same. So do I.
And I like being a mom, and
Yeah.
I like being in a book club. We have
Yes.
different sides to us, and
Yeah.
so do the plants with their whole constituent profile, which is
Yeah.
kind of the whole point, to grab it. But
Yeah.
it turns out Yerba Santa is also a really good antimicrobial that
Uh,
goes right to
Okay.
mucosal tissues that
Okay.
viruses, bacteria are trying to take over.
Okay.
And
Yep.
it's just such an amazing plant, and it
Yeah.
has so much to offer that's so obviously experiential, because on one hand, the Yerba Santa is sort of our lead herb in our allergy formula.
Mm-hmm.
And like I might have said before, it's non-stimulating, non-sedating, it's just does what it does. And there's some other supportive herbs in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But our kick-ass immune, which is probably our best known formula,
Yep. I know. I have that one.
is one of the key herbs in that too, from a different
Yes.
side of things.
So cool. Plants are amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Have you written a book? Are you
Not yet, but we're working
okay,
on
good. I was just gonna
that.
say, with everything that you've said in all of your stories, we need a book from you, Catherine. That's good.
Uh,
I'm glad. I'm
and
glad.
okay, so here's how we doing. We're gonna run out of time here
Oh yeah,
shortly.
we're close. Yes.
Okay, so
We'll
back
wrap
back
it up.
down in the desert, another kind of fun story. Maybe I'll tell you two other stories, and we can always talk more if you.
Sure. Okay. Yes.
But okay, so springtime in the desert, the tour, the field trip was kind of over. On the way home, and Feather Jones was with me. She was one of she's one who introduced me to all that.
Okay.
And we're driving along, and here's all these saguaro cactuses here along, and they're like moving. We're
Huh.
going, what?
Huh. Yeah.
So we park the car, we get out, and we're just kind of standing there. And they were a bit of ways away, kind of looking at them like anything that big and
Right.
strong you wouldn't
Right.
think would move like a
Uh-uh.
tree branch in the wind.
Right.
But it was, and we're staring at that. And then all of a sudden we hear, "Ma'am, are you okay?"
Oh,
A policeman pulled over the side of the road who had a horn that
yes. Yeah.
what do
Like a
you call those
megaphone.
things?
Megaphone, maybe.
I think he thought that we might be on psychedelics or something.
That's funny.
But
Uh,
and we go, no, but did you see these?
yeah. Could you see the cactus moving right now? Wow.
Okay, so that's that story. And can I squeeze in another one?
Yes, do yes, go for it.
Okay, so move forward. I would say we have had 3 life cycles with WishGarden.
Okay.
One was practitioners, starting
Okay.
with the childbirth and then naturopaths and up in the Northwest, and
Yeah.
just practitioners and mail order during that time too. Like the
Yeah.
Amish people found us and they were like a big customer and
Yeah.
um, people, yeah. So there was that first life cycle. Second life cycle, we were one of the herbal renaissance early companies,
Okay.
but we didn't come to the shelves till later in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we came to the shelves retail, which we did that, and we got from here around Colorado and moved west. That was our second life cycle.
Okay.
Now retail, and we're now apparently number one in our category nationally.
Wow.
All category
Congratulations.
or tincture
Wow.
combinations, but we are
Yeah.
like, wow, I call
Yeah.
it a 30-year overnight success.
Right. Yeah.
But it's because of the formulations.
Right.
Once they work.
Yes.
And then the third life cycle is coming out nationally as a recognized brand, which
Okay.
has only been, since about 2015, 16 or so. But and we're also respected because we're a conscious, value
Yes.
mission driven company. We have
Yes.
not taken big money because we saw
Yes.
what happened to so many companies. But
Yes.
anyway, between when we were first coming out on the shelves, and there's a story about that, which I'll save thing, but we got an order for this big Whole Foods down in Austin, Texas, the Lamar store, their big
Oh, yeah.
pilot store,
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
were trying all these different things. And people didn't know us down in
Huh.
Texas. So
Okay.
we got this order, and their previous store was here, and they had a trade show where, a table thing, and we came down. And I was all excited, and we walked into the store that was there. They hadn't moved into the big store yet.
Yeah.
And I walk into the department and I'm all excited. And the department manager, she comes out with a pen and she goes, "Tinctures. Do you think I need any more tinctures? No, I don't. I just discontinued $2,000 worth." And I'm going,
Mm.
whoa, I
Yeah.
didn't know what to say. And all I could think of was, well, I think if you tried us, you might like us.
Yeah. Right. Right. Did you say that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh,
And it
good.
turns out I was scheduled to do a training there. I did
Oh,
eventually win her over.
okay.
But the thing was, that made me stop and think about what is different, what's
Yeah.
unique,
Right.
what's special about what we're doing that takes things to another level that you would want to bring us in.
Yes.
And one of those is because we came from childbearing,
Yeah.
very body friendly,
Yes.
has to work. That whole thing about symptom relief, like
Yeah.
with the allergy or the digestive rescue, and kind of our
Mm.
genius juice, our liquid bliss,
Everything.
um,
Yeah.
like, okay, what differentiates has really made me stop and think about that.
Yes.
And also that it is experiential. People
Yes.
need to have the experience.
Right.
And so we really try and make samples and things available
Yeah.
for that. And
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
gosh,
I
I could
love
talk to
it.
you all day.
Well, it's exciting though, because I don't remember when I came across WishGarden, but I think it was a few years ago. And then like slowly I've been learning how my body responds to the different tinctures and
And
plants.
different plants. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then I started taking the cycle vitality for the different
Ah,
parts of my cycle because I'm in perimenopause. And so it's like, well, I want to know, like, what does my body respond to that I can, connect with plants that can support me. And so I love it. I love it too because it's the two parts. So I just finished the cycle 2 and then I'm starting on the cycle 1 now. But that's such a cool thing. It's so empowering to be able to say, okay, I'm noticing how my body's responding to this. And yeah, and just watching that rhythm, the different rhythms that come with it is really cool.
yeah. Yeah, because tune into the physiology and what's going on and how do you do that?
Yes.
And I probably should have spoken to it, but women's health is one of our our wheelhouse, one of our
Yes.
specialties.
And that's
Yeah.
funny because I wanted something that was from the earth, from plants that would support my hormone health, my organs, my everything, like you said. And that's why I connected with WishGarden. It was because of I wanted something for my cycle. So beautiful. Thank you.
I love hearing, that's what makes it all worthwhile when I hear that they're helping people.
Yes.
I
Oh, they're
love that.
wonderful. I love it. I love it. It's exactly what I've wanted to connect with. And so I have a bunch of tinctures. I use them with my boys. So my oldest is heading off to college in August. I'm going to send him with, because you know what happens when all
Yeah.
the stresses, the sicknesses that can come. And I'm like, here, start here. Dude, you're going to be locked in. People are going to be coming to you for what you're taking.
And that's, our specialty too, kids in different ages.
Yes.
And all the formulas came from real situations. Like the
Yeah.
Waldorf school asking for a formula for this, or my
Yes.
son needing something this, or somebody else's. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's so exciting. Catherine, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. And I'm excited for your book when your book comes, because that's going to be exciting to share all of your stories. And so where can people just plug everything Wish Garden? Where can people find you? Where can I send people to connect? Where should they go?
Well, I mean, our website has a
Okay.
lot of information and sources. You can
Okay.
always call into our customer journey.
Okay.
Uh, um, I have an email and a text,
Okay. Okay.
and you can always ask them to connect with me, or I can, you've got my info.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
And I'm definitely available. I'm kind of swamped with emails all the time, so
Okay.
it's it's good to somehow let me know with a text. If somebody has something particular, I might suggest a text
Okay.
to start with.
Okay.
And we have people like Aaron Stokes. We have
Yes.
a number of good people. Jamie is our national educator these days, and she's very good.
Okay.
But we're here on whatever level we can be for people.
Love
That's the
it.
whole point.
I love it. It's such a great resource. And Catherine, you are a big deal. And I'm so grateful you're doing all of the things you're doing, and that you're continuing on this journey, because it benefits all of us, and collective, like we're that healing and that growth. It's
I
collective.
heard that you're an athlete.
I am. I am.
Yes, our
Yes.
genius juice, which
Okay.
not obviously, but
Yeah.
it's about
Oh,
connections, neurological. Okay, I'm going this way. It's about
okay.
performance, whether it's about
Oh,
speaking or athletics, or you want to lift your energy during the mid of
yes.
day and you don't want any stimulants. There's no
Yes.
caffeine in it at all, but it's
Okay.
just like, oh,
Genius juice. Okay. Well,
yeah,
this,
there's nothing like it out there that I know of.
I love that. I'm gonna have to get a few bottles of it and take it, because we have a bunch of, like, my husband's an ultra runner, my son runs,
Ooh.
my other son plays lacrosse, and I run, and so this gonna we can spread
It
the
won't be a thing where
news,
you're just feeling, it's just like everything's just going to work a little better.
which is that's what we want. Want it all to work better. Oh, that's so cool. Gosh, Catherine, this has been amazing. I love this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. It's so exciting to me. Yes, it's so good. But thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing your stories. And I'm excited to
Likewise.
hear and see more. So
Yeah.
yes. Mwah.
Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and follow the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep showing up, and remember, you are a big deal.